Hello everyone, this is Eva Smash today. We're going to be visited here with a special guest, Fire Emblem Discussions, also known as Tenders or Atoms. Would you like to talk about your channel?
Sure, yeah. So, Fire Emblem Discussion is just a place where we talk about Fire Emblem. I post videos just about every day, and also we stream a lot. Just have fun discussions where everyone can be part of the conversation. It's not just me talking at you, it's you talking with me.
Yeah, that is true. Fire Emblem Discussions does a lot of open and taking to community feedback once he makes his videos, asking them what they think about features. As recently, he's done a Fire Emblem Three Houses discussing about squads. He's also done other discussions on older games. He's talked about Fire Emblem Fates maps. He's a very good YouTuber when it comes to talking about all the other fundamentals like other YouTubers do, but he does it on another level where he involves the community. He also does more frequently compared to other YouTubers. He does more unique content. He streams a lot, which helps interact with them, and he doesn't ignore the audience. He always talks to them, mentions them. It's always about the community, so that's what I really appreciate about Fire Emblem Discussions channel. And nice to have YouTubers you can actually relate to and talk to, and openly discuss about Fire Emblem, and not just say, oh, we the fans agreed about this and stuff. And that's a good thing about his channel. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so let's just get straight into the questions and discussions for these discussions. We're going to be talking about anything about Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I'm going to be asking you questions on that. So here's the first question. Do you think this Fire Emblem Three Houses will be the next awakening in terms of bringing in more fans and really stapling it as a must-buy on the Nintendo Switch console?
I think it could. Fire Emblem Awakening is known as many people's first Fire Emblem game. If you ask someone about their first Fire Emblem game, they're either going to say Blazing Sword, at least here in the West, they're going to say Blazing Sword, Awakening, or potentially Sacred Stones. So I think Three Houses could be the next game that is brings in a bunch of fans. There's even people that come into my chat on streams or ask about Three Houses. They say they've never played a Fire Emblem game. So I definitely see that happening. But I think it's impossible to know until we get there. I don't think the marketing's been terribly good for Fire Emblem Three Houses. The marketing for Awakening was killer. They did a really good job of marketing it, especially here in the West too. So Three Houses has been lacking in that. There's been a lot of Japanese commercials, a lot of Japanese news, whether it's Famitsu or just Nintendo commercials. But I think they're dropping the ball a little bit here in the West. That being said, I think the new gameplay aspects of it with the school aspect and the really open nature of the class system and weaponry and stuff is going to be really appealing to a lot of new fans. So I do think that it has potential to be the next Awakening in that sense. But honestly, I'm not sure at this point.
That is very true. The marketing seems very Japanese oriented. There hasn't been any westernized news points, or we don't actually get Famitsu's to that extent, unfortunately. And it's it only ends up to people from the community to translate these and have people who are actually wanting this game and actively seeking it to go onto the Serene's Forest or go to other YouTubers like Max and Lucky Frit who are heavily covering it. This actually goes into our next question. It's very similar. Do you think the lack of coverage from bigger channels is disconcerting? Only recently we just had Game Explained, a huge unofficial Nintendo news outlet, make a video on it. Even before that, we had a lot of Famitsu articles. And I guess you already kind of answered it. Does the lack of actual Western-friendly ads and news concern you?
It does concern me to an extent. But again, I think we aren't close enough to the release of the game to really be worried about it too much. Generally, games don't get a whole lot of coverage and hype until really a month prior to their release, I feel like. And sure, there are a lot of bigger channels that aren't covering it right now, but give it, once we hit July or even I don't know, maybe mid-June, a lot of other channels are going to start looking into it a little bit more, rather than just the Fire Emblem channels that's all we talk about. So it concerns me a little bit, but I don't think it's much to worry about yet until we get to again mid-June or July. And if no one's talking about it then that's something to be concerned about.
That's a good answer. Yeah, that more leads into how the next coming month or two before Fire Emblem got ultimately released on June 26th. So yeah, that is a very good answer. Alright, so our next question is, do you think the whole idea of comparing this game heavily to Persona will hurt the overall game appeal, deter the fan base, or make it seem like the game has an identity crisis of sorts? That's if we don't account for, of course, Fire Emblem Tokyo Mirage Session.
No, I haven't seen anyone really complain about that. I mean, I've seen people complain about the art style and how they think it's like similar to, Shin Megami Tensei and the Persona games, but I don't think it's other than the art style, I haven't seen really anybody complain about this game so far. So a lot of people don't like the art style. I guess some people aren't a fan of the school aspect or whatever, but I feel like that's a minority. But so overall, no, I don't think it's going to affect especially the fan base at all. And I think it's only going to invite more players to try it out, other than just the core fan base.
Yeah, that is true. I've noticed a lot of people comparing just the art style to Persona, and with the general menus acting like that. A lot of people have, been saying, oh, the calendar is the most similar thing to Persona and Fire Emblem. And I don't really exactly agree when it comes to that. It's supposed to be a high school theme. You're supposed to have dates. That's the whole thing with school, is you have to care about, do I have school this day or whatever. So I think, it's just doing it. They're just doing it for the sake of comparing it. There's nothing really there. Sorry.
No. Yeah, I think, yeah, good point. Yeah.
For our final question, this is based off the new system that's introduced in Fire Emblem Three Houses, the battalion system. And do you think the new battalion system is gimmicky with its gambits, or is it perfectly in your eyes and the functions the way you're hoping for overall? I think this is a more so yes for you, because of how you mentioned that you wanted squads to affect stats and movement, but the gambits are where it's mostly at. So what do you think?
So I don't think the battalion system is gimmicky at all at this point. Like, it seems pretty. I'm not gonna say it's perfect or functions the way exactly I was hoping at this point, but I am pretty excited for it. It looks like it's gonna be a deep and rich system to learn and to take advantage of. And some of the gambits, I mean, I don't know if the Serenus Forest article translated it correctly or what, but like, some of the gambits look really cool.
5 movement.
I know, +5 movement to all allies in range or something, if that's what it is. That's insane.
Yeah, to adjacent units, so you can get at least 4 units with like 10, potentially 9 or 10 movement. Is crazy. We're federal.
Yeah, so that's just, I mean, I see LTC runs just having like 3 or 4 Godspeed preparations ready to go at all times, and so you're always at high movement and playing quickly. I'm excited to see that, honestly, and try to try it myself. And the Godspeed preparation, I mean, you look at the battalion gambit, the authority, and the cost and everything, and it's like, it doesn't look like it's going to be like cost ineffective to go for it all the time. It looks like it's going to be a relatively cheap thing to have. So I don't know, like, the gambits look really exciting to me. I'm really excited to try some of them. And more than anything, I'm just excited they're adding something new to the gameplay to make it interesting. I mean, because, Awakening and Fates had pair up, and that was fine, and that was exciting for them. But if they just did that again, I'd be kind of bummed. But I'm really excited that they're adding this new battalion system that is going to change literally everything about the game. I'm not going to say it changes everything. At its core, it's still going to be Fire Emblem, but it's going to change so much about the game, and it's going to be so exciting to experiment with. And it's just gonna be a new thing for the community to latch onto, to talk about, rather than just the same old, oh, which character, base is overgrowth, this character is better than this character, tier list, whatever else. There's gonna be so much to talk about with the squads, what gambits work with with which maps, which units need which squads to be effective. It's gonna be such a fun discussion, and I'm really excited to have it.
Yeah, the amount of optimization people can talk about, especially with LTC, which gambits and which squads best roll with certain units. For example, one of the characters we had revealed, I don't exactly remember his name, unfortunately, because I'm not going at that specific house, but his special, personal skills are back, which are nice, and his personal skill is, if you're with no squad, you get +5 attack. So it leads to a lot of potential when it comes to just changing the whole dynamic and not having to reforce in the pair-up mechanic, like with Awakening and Fates. And I think it adds another depth instead of just having another stat buff buddy or just generally relying on the shield gauge or whatever. And I'm gonna point this. I still appreciate Shadow of Valentia's jab at pair-ups in those ads. That was amazing.
Yeah, such tactics aren't used here in Valentia.
Exactly.
Yeah, really funny. Yeah, that character's Felix actually. I'm just looking at it right now, dude. +5 damage with no time. Oh, sorry, my dog's barking.
No, that's no problem. That's no problem. Oh, I think Felix. Yeah.
And I was actually curious what you think of the crests and all that we learned.
The crests are to blame. I'm really intrigued that I'm really intrigued that the three main houses, or three main characters in the houses, like Ellegaard, Dimitri, and Claude, do not have major crests. They only have minor crests, which is very interesting. And some of the characters in those respective houses, like it was Fred. Sorry, his name.
Felix.
Oh, Felix. Sorry, him having a major crest is very interesting. That the main characters we've seen so far do not have major crest, and they only have minor.
Yeah, it is interesting. I was a little surprised that at least like one of them or two of them didn't have major crests, which makes me think that there's not going to be special weapons locked behind a major crest, like in the U-Draw games with like Major Holy Blood.
Yeah, like if your blood is corresponding to a specific weapon, you wield it. I believe I haven't played Drill, but I've heard a lot about that part.
Yeah. So yeah, in Genealogy of the Holy War, if a character has Major Holy Blood, they can use what's called a holy weapon, and like Sigurd has Major Baldo Blood, and he can use the Tyrfing, which is just super powerful. Gives him like +10 speed, +10 skill, and like +20 res or something like that. It's ridiculous. Makes him super good. And any character that can use a holy weapon is basically busted.
Yeah,
it's crap because the weapon is just so good and it gives stat boosts that are insane. As soon as I heard about the way these crests are going to work, it instantly made me think of Genealogy of the Holy War and the Holy Blood system, and I was hoping that it would be more like that. We were going to get like really cool holy weapons for our characters, and we're definitely going to get that weird chain whip sword thing for Byleth.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
But I don't know if it's going to be locked behind a major crest or if minor crest are going to be able to wield those as well, allowing Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude to get these special weapons, or if there's going to be a way for them to unlock their major crest or in their blood or whatever. But yeah, so I'm really excited for that. And honestly, I'm gonna call this like out of nowhere. I would not be surprised if there was a second generation in this game.
I was more so thinking perhaps you would end up recruiting more students along the way, since you do see a lot of places and you do hear that there's a lot of crest overall, so you might get a couple more students. But a second generation, oh lord, I don't know how the fan base would react.
I can tell you the Fire Emblem fan base, like the actual fan base, would be stoked for a second gen.
Oh yeah, if you're talking in terms of Jagirl second generation, yes, that would definitely be true.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I mean a time skip. I mean, we're like with the calendars and like such a focus on time. We haven't really seen a focus on time in a Fire Emblem game since U-Draw with the U-Draw calendar. Like I'm hoping, like it's my tin hat theory, my tinfoil hat theory. It's not probably not actually going to happen. But I just thought of this. I'm like, give me a second generation. Allow me to merge these characters together and get, major crest, minor crest for later for their children. And sure, maybe they can go to the school, and then Byleth becomes it's like an old man teaching these students then, and he's like, there's so many cool possibilities for it. It's probably not going to happen, but it would be dope as heck.
He loses stats on leveling up.
Yeah, like freaking the old guy from Final Fantasy IV. Yeah.
Well, it was nice having you on Fire Emblem Discussions, or I like prefer to call you Tenders. It was nice having you on for this discussions.
Thank you. I was really happy you reached out, and I was really happy to be on.
I'm glad you had a good time, and I'm glad for you. I'm glad that you came on and collabed. Do you want to end off with anything in specifics?
Sure. I don't know. I'm gonna plug my channel.
Yeah. Sure. I was gonna do that as well, saying you should go check out Fire Emblem Discussions. He'll be linked on the card in the top right corner, along with in the description. You guys should definitely check him on if you want to talk about anything Fire. If you want to check out anything Fire Emblem, he's been recently streaming Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn content, as well as I imagine you're doing more Fire Emblem Three Houses discussions, along with involving the community. And sometime down the line, once we get more, I guess, Western-friendly news, if you're hoping so, or just more Famitsu articles, if anything. So you should definitely check him out if you're a fan of Fire Emblem and you want to hear more discussions.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I appreciate for you collabing with me, man. It's been the honor. It's been an honor.
Oh, thank you. You're a gem. You're a gem. A diamond in the rough.
Thanks. Well, see you guys. Thanks for watching so much, and have a great day.